How's it going, YouTube? This is Manny from Manny Fresh Bets, bringing you my over-under picks for the wild card weekend of the NFL. If this is the first time watching one of my videos, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys would subscribe, like, comment, and share. Can't thank you guys enough for all the support, all the DMs, all the messages, all the new followers on Twitter, all the new subscribers on YouTube. Again, like I mentioned on my other video, I started this just to help people, understand betting a little better. Not that I'm a pro, but I've kind of gotten the hang of it as I've gone through the last 2.5 years. But I do see some things that, some others might not, and you guys might see some things that I might not. So I definitely appreciate the comments and, just kind of sharing ideas and things like that. Shout out to my man, Chris Fault Bets. He's been kind of giving me ideas as well. So shout out to him. And again, guys, this is going to be my over-under picks for the wild card weekend. I'm going to take the L for Green Bay. I was kind of, pounding sand on that one and letting you guys know that the NFL wants to see them. Say Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs. Obviously, I underestimated that Lions team. Love that guy, Jamal Williams. He's a character, but I like dudes like that. You know what I'm saying? Very very animated. But again, guys, I'll take that L for Green Bay, but I'll take the win for giving you Atlanta. I kind of had a feeling that they were going to beat Tampa Bay. A lot of people were on Tampa Bay. I'm not sure why. Same thing with, a couple of the other games. I just had that feeling. I believe I gave you Pittsburgh as well. I had a feeling they were going to win. And a couple of other ones. So we had a, up and down week. Week 18 won some, won Tennessee. I gave you Tennessee plus 6.5. I had a feeling that game was going to be close, divisional game for the playoffs. I didn't see any way that, Mike Vrabel was going to let that team get blown down, and they didn't. The Jaguars were lucky to come out of there with a win, scoop and score pretty much on a fumble, won them the game. They couldn't get anything going against that defense, which is actually pretty bad, most of the season, but they clamp up, and I felt like that wasn't going to be a blowout. So I cashed with that one. Also cashed on the under on that game, I believe, as well. So, we had an up and down weekend last week for week 18. For the teasers, I believe it was an 8 or 10 leg team teaser, 7 points. Every single leg hit except Dallas. As you know, they got blown out by Washington. I was iffy on that game to begin with, just because, Dallas could have won the first seed, but it was a big long shot. San Francisco had to lose. Philly had to lose against the Giants, who were resting starters. Should have known that was coming. Probably should have taken Washington either on the money line or on the spread. In terms of these picks over under, for this parlay, the odds are plus 484. So I believe, don't quote me on my math, it's early. I believe if you bet $100, you win $484 for this particular parlay. So it's plus 484. For the first game, we got Seattle against San Francisco. Seattle's plus 9.5 point underdog against San Francisco. Over under 42.5. I actually took the alternate under of 46.5. So if you guys don't know how to do that, basically you go to the game, click on the game on FanDuel, then it's gonna have just your regular anytime TD, things like that. It's gonna say alternate game total, alternate game spread, and it's gonna be the alternate total. So I took the under 46.5. I'm even leaning towards the under 42.5. These two teams played twice already this year. The total has been 37 in both games, so they play to the under, especially now in a playoff game. Brock Purdy, rookie quarterback, making his first playoff start. Geno Smith is a veteran, but he's also making his first playoff start. These two teams want to run. San Francisco going to run with CMC. Seattle's going to want to run with Kenneth Walker. They're not going to make too many splash plays, maybe one or two here and there, but they're going to keep it conservative so that their quarterbacks don't make mistakes. I think this is a under game. I don't see how these two teams are going to combine for more than like 40 points. I don't see it. I think San Francisco is probably going to win like, I don't know, like 23-13, 23-14, something like that. And that still comes out to under 40. And we took it out of under 46.5. For the next game, we got the Chargers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Chargers are 2.5-point favorite. And if you see me looking to the side, I have my notes that I'm always referencing. So Chargers at -2.5 against Jacksonville. The over-under is 47.5. And again, I took an alternate. I took the alternate over 36.5. This game could go either way. I mean, I can see this game. And again, I'm gonna give you quite a few unders in this video. Playoffs are just kind of underplays for me. Usually when I see a total that's too high, or I feel like it's too high, I'm gonna take the under, because I just see conservative football. If you're playing in the cold, you like Baltimore and Cincinnati are, like Buffalo and Miami are. These teams are not gonna want to throw it all around the field. They're gonna want to, especially if you got a big favorite. They just want to win that game and get the hell out of there. Make it to the next round. Again, in terms of this game, I took over 36.5. I think that's very doable. That's what 24-20 gets you there. 44 points. Very doable, especially for these two teams. The Jaguars have been looking better offensively, except for last week. They couldn't get anything done against the Titans, but like I said, that was a divisional game for the actual division title, and I felt like it was gonna be an underplay, and a very close game. The Chargers, their pass defense is decent, is good, but they could be run on. So if you want to take a prop on ETN, be more than welcome. He's probably gonna have a good game, but I mean, for 36 is not a lot, especially for these two teams that usually score pretty often. I think this is very doable. So I took it at over 36.5 for that game. In terms of the regular over under 47.5, I'll probably go under. Again, these defenses are gonna clamp up. Jacksonville has a good defense. Chargers defense isn't terrible. They could be run on, but their pass defense is pretty solid. So I think, again, I think that's another under if you want to take just the game under 47.5. Then for the next leg, Miami and Buffalo. I took Buffalo's -9.5 against Miami. And the over-under is 46.5. I went with under again. Tua is not going to start. It'd be a crazy conspiracy or a crazy development in the NFL if Tua, after having 2 concussions this season already, not practicing till this day, filming this on a Wednesday morning, hasn't practiced all week. They put him out there. The NFL and the Miami Dolphins agree he can play, and then he gets hurt again, maybe even concussed. God forbid. People are going to be all over them. People are going to criticize them. Lawsuits probably coming. I don't see them putting Tua in that situation. Teddy Bridgewater, he dislocated one of his fingers in his throwing hand in the cold weather in Buffalo. That's not gonna fly. Even if he wants to play, which he probably does, because I like Teddy Bridgewater, but he just hasn't looked good this year when he started, even without the dislocated finger. He looked pretty pedestrian. I think it's going to be Skylar Thompson. And if it is, this over under 46.5 is probably going to come down. And you're going to get a worse number. So I would suggest you, if you like the under like me, take the 46.5 now before this becomes like 44, 43.5, because we all know Skylar Thompson is not going to do much. Buffalo's going to control the game. I see this as a potential blowout. But I don't see, I don't see Miami scoring more than 14 points, especially Tyreek Hill. He's been in and out, he's been in game, then he comes out for a few plays, then he goes back for a few plays. Jalen Waddle's a little banged up too. So Miami's going in there. They made the playoffs, good for them. They fought. They needed some help and they got it. But they're limping into the playoffs, and that's not how you do. That's not how you get it done, especially against a Buffalo team that might be that is a full Super Bowl favorite right now. So I'm gonna take the under. I think Buffalo, 30 to 13, 30 to 14, 27-14, something like that. 27 to 10. I see them just starting off in a rhythm in the first half, get up to a big lead, maybe 21-zip, 21-3, and kind of holding down the game till the end of the game, and just blowing Miami out and not really showing anything for the next series. I believe they might play. I'm not 100% sure who they're gonna play, but whoever they're gonna play is gonna be I believe is either Cincinnati or Kansas City. Might be. I'm not sure. I'll double check with you guys, and I'll let you know who they play. But again, I don't think they're gonna want to show much, just to keep some things under wraps for the next playoff series. So that's Miami, Buffalo, the Giants in Minnesota. The over under is 48.5. That's a lot. And I understandably so. Minnesota can't stop a nosebleed. Their defense is bad. You saw Chicago, even in a meaningless game, Chicago scored like 13 or 14 points on that defense, and they had pretty much the starters were in the game, I believe, pretty much the whole game, if I'm not mistaken. But these two teams, and again, my Giants made it far enough. I think, they had a great season. Wasn't expecting them to make the playoffs at all. So it was a good season for me. Whatever happens in this game. But in terms of the over-under, I took the alternate over 40.5. I think both teams are going to score. So basically, 21-20 gets you over 40.5. I feel like the Giants are going to be able to score. I think they could get at least 20. Minnesota, obviously, they're high potent offense. I believe they can get it to 20, 23, 27 points, even against that good Giants defense. I believe the last game they played, Minnesota won by a field goal, and the over hit as well. So I think 40 is very doable for these two teams. Baltimore, Cincinnati, I took an alternate under 51.5. Again, like I mentioned, in the current over under is 42.5. That's probably a line where Vegas or the bookmakers are thinking that Lamar isn't going to start. If Lamar starts, this was probably going to go up another 1 or 2 points. But even if I took the alternate under 51.5. AFC North, that's all I can say. These teams in the AFC North, they play to the under. They're gonna run the ball. Baltimore's gonna run the hell out of the ball. They want to keep Joe Burrow on the sideline so they won't score. They're gonna run with their quarterback. They're gonna run with their running back. They're gonna throw little screens. They're gonna throw little passes to the tight ends and the wide receivers. And the clock is just gonna keep turning. I don't see how this game gets even to 42.5, which is what the line is now, let alone 51.5. The only way I can see this happening is if the Bengals get off to a great start. They're up 17-0. Lamar is starting, and he just has to keep chugging it down the field, either scoring or Cincinnati forces turnovers to get quick scores. but I don't see that happening. I mean, Harbaugh's a good coach. Cincinnati's a good team, but I just don't see, more than 51 points being scored here. I think it's gonna be like a 17-10 type game, 17-13 type game. I don't see this high scoring, especially in Cincinnati in the cold weather. I think that's gonna be a low scoring game. Then I took Dallas Tampa Bay. The over under right now is 45.5. I took the alternate 46.5 just to kind of cover myself, just in case they do hit 46. I took under 46.5. So that's an alternate. In all, again, it's a plus 484 odds on this parlay for over under. Seattle, San Francisco, alternate under 46.5. Chargers, Jacksonville over 36.5. That's an alternate as well. Miami, Buffalo under 46.5. The Giants and Minnesota over 40.5. That's alternate total as well. Baltimore, Cincinnati under 51.5. Again, that's an alternate. And then the last alternate is going to be Dallas, Tampa Bay under 61.5. 61.5. Sorry, it wasn't 46.5. It was under 61.5. And again, that last leg for Dallas, Tampa Bay, I mean, it makes me a little nervous because I just know that, when these two teams have played, except for the last meeting, I think Tampa Bay just blew out Dallas. I think it was like 6-27 or something like that. Before then, these two teams were, those, when they meet, they score. It's like 31-30, 33-29. But the way I've seen Tampa Bay this year, they can't score at all. I don't think they just found the rhythm in against Carolina. Carolina's best cornerback was out, and Mike Evans just feasted, which is what he should do. I don't think that's gonna be the case against Dallas, and the same thing with Dallas. I don't think they're gonna feast against Tampa Bay's defense. Tampa Bay's defense could be had, but I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game. I can see this game, 23-20, 23-20. Something within those lines, 24-23, 24-20, 24-21, 24-17 even maybe. And either way, Tampa or Dallas winning. But I like the under in that. And again, those are my picks. Greatly appreciate everybody. Again, can't thank you guys enough. Let's have a great wild card weekend. Hopefully we cash with these. Good luck on your other bets. If you got bets that you're making personally, good luck on those. Have fun. Take care. Stay safe. God bless. And we will talk soon.